Now, then I was trying. In fact, you're about to see the forming of the purple table, right? Then I'm like, okay, how do I prove this? And I realized that I didn't know how to prove it, right? So I thought about it. How would I prove it in my real life? You know, if I was just doing it, I would do it by cases. And it was exactly at this moment I see we need proof by cases in the purple table, right? So how are we going to do this? Let's see, what are we doing? We have to go one direction or the other. So here, right, we got the or of something here, right? Here's some statement, and here's some statement. We have an or, and we have to prove something, right? So that's kind of where proof by cases comes out, right? So what's proof by cases is we want to, we have the or of these two things, and we want to prove that the first one gives us what we want, and we want to prove that the second one gives us what we want, right? Does that make sense? Right? Remember how the proof by cases works? Is I know that we have the or of two things, and if I can prove the first one gives it to me and the second one gives it to me, then I have it, right? So, right, we say there are two cases. We're going to assume the first case. We're going to, if the first case gives it to me, we're going to prove the second. We're going to assume the second one. We're going to prove the statement. And then we conclude the thing, right? And so right, so that's we just developed the rule, right? So how does the rule go? Well, we assume this, we want to prove that, right? We want to prove this, so we assume this, right? So so our goal, then I proof by cases. We say our goal is to prove gamma. What's gamma? Gamma is this whole big thing, right? And all right, so we're going to have, this just says by cases, line 2 is that we have the or here, right? So here, our first case is that we have this side. So we have there exists an X. Now we know there exists an X for which alpha is true, right? That means we can remove the exists, right? If it exists, give me a name of what it, let's call it X exists, right? And now we can build the or, right? We know that alpha is true, and hence the or is true, right? People are thinking, how are we doing that? Right? And then we can put the exists on, right? And then the second case is the same, and we're done, right? People got that? How do you go the other direction, right? We assume this side, right? We remove the exists, right? And then again, we're going to have cases, right? Now, see, we had to remove the exists because it was on the outside, right? Now we're on the or, right? So we go to purple table and say, what do we do with an or? We know we have an or, so hey, do proof by cases, right? Proof by cases, we have to prove this whole thing up, right? So the first case is that we know that alpha is true for this object, right? If it's true for this object, then what? Then now where do we want to get to? We want to get to this whole thing, right? So we have to build this piece first. We build this, and then we can build this, right? You have to think about the order in which to build things, right? So we first build that, well, if it's true for this, then there exists something for which is true, right? And then, well, if this side of the or is true, then the whole or is true, right? And then that's done, right? And so then you do the other side. Did people kind of follow these, right? And I don't I have no idea how hard this is for you, right? And when I was first doing it, right, it was hard for me. So I started making up, right? You can see, oh, how do I do this, right?